enemy is making it hard on the Palestinian people to survive because they choose to put them in harm's way. That is ass backwards.
The White House says defensive weapons will still be supplied to Israel. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Well, it's Coffee Ann time around the world and across the nation, and here I am, Dave Richards, not expecting to be here today, of course, but as we said before, Joe picked up a nasty little cold on his way back from vacation and doesn't want to bring it to work, and we appreciate that a great deal, Joe. But that complicates matters because here I am in the studio. Rich and Elaine is not due to arrive till 8:30, and Melissa Murray is not here either, so I'm stuck here alone for the next couple. Wait a minute, I hear the door. Ah, there's Melissa sliding in from third. I just wasn't sure if she was coming because I know that we talked about it, but it was earlier in the week before we knew that Joe wouldn't be here. And it became really important for you to be here.
And here I am. Yeah, I wanted to pop up in the window so you knew that I was here.
Oh, yes.
Because usually if I walk by the window, I'm not tall enough to be seen.
That's true.
So I got to kind of
the top of your
jump up.
The top of your
wave
head.
my hands.
That short. You're not completely under the window, but
Well,
pretty much.
I'm just getting shorter, as this happens with age.
Yeah, well, I suppose so, yeah, but it's not really supposed to be happening for another 10, 15 years for people like you, kiddo.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like it's happening because, all this week I kept seconding motions and you stand in the Senate and they kept missing me, even though...
No.
Yeah.
You stood and they missed you?
Yeah.
How classic.
I know.
It wasn't the president, was it?
A president, pro tem and deputy pro tem, yeah.
Right, well, those are the ones that count the votes, right?
Well, president too, depends on whoever's presiding.
Okay.
They call out your name, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it happens. I thought maybe on the last day I'd make a little sign that said second and just hold it up, just for fun. I might do that.
Here's an idea for you. If you're going to second a motion, right, what if you got on a stick a big cutout of a hand in a peace sign, in a peace sign, that's
right,
two,
right,
and you'd end up on the front page of some newspaper doing that.
Yeah, I do have a step stool, but that's for my feet so that my legs don't dangle. For the long nights, yeah.
Well, you certainly were busy yesterday down there. I wasn't going to talk to you about all of that since you brought it up, though. You were certainly busy yesterday. All kinds of interesting things. I see that you're my
moratorium bill.
No, you can talk about that. That's just fine. I'm a little uncomfortable bringing up another one because I totally disagree with you on it. But
that's okay.
And this isn't bash Melissa. I mean, you work here. You're a friend.
Yeah.
And you're a colleague. And your side gig with this state senate thing over here, we never let it get in the way.
Yeah. No.
Of
absolutely.
the friendship.
Yep.
But we do disagree on the treatment of people who make more money than we do.
Oh, my press conference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do disagree.
I know.
Mm-hmm. How do you treat people that you want to have around? I mean, you don't want, if you treat people who make over $1 million poorly, then they feel not loved and they go somewhere else.
Oh.
And then you're just stuck with a bunch of people who don't make that much money.
Well, I think people who make up $900,000, that's a lot of money.
To abuse.
Yeah. Well, I would say that people who make $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, $999,000 make quite a bit of money. So this was just a 3% surtax on their income over $1 million.
Who talked you into that? Because you're a smart kid. I mean,
It's a fairness and equity issue, and we need a revenue stream, and those folks pay a lower percentage of the overall taxes than you and I, and probably almost
they
everybody
pay a lot.
we know.
you
They
end
do
up-
pay a lot, but
you
they
end
don't.
up with a
but not
net loss when they go to some other place.
Yeah, so
and they've got the money to go some other place.
Sure, yeah, and I also
You end up with a net loss.
I addressed that in the press conference, but it didn't get into the presser. We did talk about
All right,
the millionaire
take
myth.
the chance to say it now.
Okay, so it's the millionaire flight myth, and so in other states that have done this, they've not shown a huge influx or outflux of millionaires. Millionaires move way less often. They hardly move at all because they have mobility. So there's a difference between moving for better opportunities, which usually happens to the poorest people. Like they'll move for better opportunities. They'll move for a different job. They'll move, to go somewhere else because their taxes, because they're a higher percentage of their overall income, really do affect them more. And a little side note about taxes, when people saying like my taxes are so high, almost all the time when they're talking about that, they're talking about property taxes. So it's the people who can travel for leisure, who have the extra money to travel for leisure, they don't generally move to other states. The influx and outflux, actually the peak number of income that moves the most is people who make about $100,000. Those are the people who move the most often. So saying that, all these millionaires are going to leave to go to other states, the reason they move is,
It's just morally wrong in my book. That's where our difference of opinion comes
well,
along.
then that's different. That's different.
No, it's morally wrong to treat some people differently than other people when it comes to taxation. It's just morally wrong.
I agree, which is why I think that
Which
we
is
need
why
to.
You voted for it?
No, we didn't vote on it. We
Oh,
just,
oh,
I,
the
we just had a
press
press
co-
conference.
it was just a press. Okay.
Oh, the bill hasn't been heard yet. The bill hasn't been heard yet. So anybody who wants the opportunity
to
to
vote
speak.
yesterday.
No. We just had a presser. We just
I guess
had a
I was
presser.
going through all the press releases. There were only 30 of them.
I'm sure there were.
Yeah, I was going through them too fast.
We like to
misunderstood.
put out a press release when we
Well, that's-
sneeze.
Melissa, that's why I like to talk about the things with you, because you set me straight on some things I didn't understand.
No, there was no vote. I wish there were. I mean, I don't know that there's any chance of that bill even coming to the floor for a vote. I wish that it would.
You think it's too late in the session for that to survive?
I don't even think it has to do with timing. I just think it has to do with the temperature of certain people, because I
Okay.
know that there is the votes on the floor to make that happen. But what this does it restores the tax cuts that Kacheri and Trump and over the years that they've given to the rich. It restores the equity.
Kacheri was a nice guy. Why do you lump him in with a bum like Trump?
Well, he gave the rich tax cuts, and I don't believe that the rich should get tax cuts.
Okay.
But I will say that the revenue stream is projected to be anywhere from 126 million, although DOR predicts it to be much higher per year. So it would be an extra 100, perhaps up to 180 million a year. It only affects 2,000 filers. I'd be surprised if one of them
Pick on the minorities, why
lived
don't
in
you?
district. If you do, then good for you, and you can yell at me. But for the rest of us, the money would go towards education, child
Oh,
care.
that's what they said when they put in the lottery.
Oh no! This is a restricted account.
Sure.
If they took it away, I'd be. If it passed, and if they took it away, no, it goes to education, which is like my number one priority too,
I get it.
and child care and roads and bridges. Repair, which last year didn't get much traction when we talked about it, because I put this bill in for 5 years. So last year when we talked about the restricted money going to roads and bridges, they were
I
like,
don't remember you getting press conferences the last 4.
Oh, yeah, we've had them.
You
We have
did?
them every year.
Well, it got to the surface yesterday.
I guess. I
Get
mean,
on
it's
my
kind of
radar
like
screen.
it's kind of like my other bills that I put in for years, and all of a sudden this year they're getting traction. Like everybody's talking about the DCLAW bill. I put that in that passed last year, and nobody cared. But hey, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
And then the reporter that did that, I was like, I put in like 25 bills. Why do you want to cover my cat bill? And he's just like,
'Cause
well,
it's the one I
thought because that's the one I want to cover because I thought it would be interesting.
That's
and I'm
right.
like, he had no idea it passed
Because
last
I've got
year.
the job, I make the decisions.
Because he
and,
decides what is going to be, because nobody cares about that other boring stuff.
Somebody has to decide.
Somebody decides what's important that day, and that's what is important to everybody because it's in the news.
Yeah. Tain't right, but a lot of things.
Well, it is what it is.
A lot of things that tain't right go on, huh?
It's fine. It's fine.
Well, we disagree on that, but I know that you're doing it for reasons that you feel very strongly about. So I'll just
We could probably use that money for the bridge. Just saying.
saying, right? Yeah.
Since we don't even know how much it's going to be.
We're surviving just fine without that bridge. I'll tell you, I am.
Oh my gosh, so grateful that I don't have to.
Am so. No, I'm going to tell you something that I don't know if I've said it on the air before, but I've said it to personal friends. I am so proud of how Rhode Island DOT and all the different people have handled this. Now, okay, there's a few whiners that I don't get on board or carry their flag because they're like the Republicans yesterday. I got a visit from a Republican yesterday calling me to task for what I was saying.
Really?
On Wednesday. Yes, I did. I got a personal visit from a representative of the Republican Party who wanted to ask me some questions about my comments on that matter. And we parted amicably. I pleaded my case, and whether or not they agree or disagree, I told them what was on my mind, and I said, I respect your point of view too, but when it came time for me to do something, for better or worse, I'm the one with the microphone, and I'm the one that said it. And I'll own up to it, and if you disagree, then I'll apologize if I gave you bad feelings, but what I did, I said for my reasons. So,
if everyone agreed, the world would be a boring place, right?
Well, no, it'd be I'd like it better. We play more records and get rid of the doggone news if everybody agreed. Seriously.
Let's play more records.
Let's play more records, right? Get rid of the news. My goodness. Because sometimes I just gag on the news, Melissa. You know this because I've mentioned it off the air. I sit here with news and I've got to put it on the air and I look at it and say, oh gosh, do I have to do this?
Yeah, I know.
Because some of the stuff is just like beyond the pale.
Yep.
But anyway, so I wanted to say that I'm very proud. On the average, divide by 2 on how this bridge thing has been handled. Now, whether or not someone misbehaved before will be brought to light, I'm sure, with forensic evidence. Whether or not it was necessary, I think it's been pretty well established already that it was necessary, and nobody dragged their feet and said, well, I don't think I want to do this right before Christmas. I don't think I want to do this now. I'm going to be running for re-election. I don't know, which could happen. And has happened, I'm sure, sometimes. Didn't happen this time. I'm very proud that quick and decisive action was taken as soon as it was clear beyond any discussion that the bridge shouldn't continue to be used. So I'm very pleased about that. But all the other changes, and we're so sick of hearing the changes and so sick of hearing the bridge. But the fact is, outside of rush hours and construction time, I mean, construction time would happen anytime. I mean, there's going to be delays because of construction, just because it's construction. You can't count that on the bridge problem.
And it's everywhere.
Right, it's everywhere. So, but seriously speaking, all the times I've had to go to East Providence, and there have been quite a few of them now since the bridge closed, I have not had any drama at all. I've had slowdowns. I've had concerns. I've had a computer in my hand tell me it's going to take you an hour and 20 minutes to get to East Providence from Woonsocket. And I drove there in 25.
Yeah.
I
had the opposite happen.
Well, I told you it'd be 25. It took an hour and a half?
Yes. And turned around before we got over the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've got 2 different ways, and when there's traffic, there's traffic. That's all there is to it. Sometimes you just have to grow up and pull up your pants and face the adversity. But it hasn't been the terrible, awful thing. I have no problems going to East Providence for something. And I know that the state has, in addition to everything else, gone a little overboard and now is putting in ads on broadcast at taxpayer expense to support the businesses on both sides of the river.
Yeah.
And I say, well, while I don't agree that that's necessary anymore, it was necessary before you did it, and it isn't necessary now.
Agreed.
But
Should have happened before.
At the same time, I also understand that there's a certain amount of feel good that goes into governing people. Sometimes there's right, there's wrong, and there's politic. There's making people feel loved.
Yeah, and I sure wish they would have made some adverts that say, come to Woonsocket, come to Northern Rhode Island and
Yeah,
shop.
well,
But that won't happen.
check out all the tourism stuff the state puts out. You don't see that.
I do.
stuff.
I see a lot of it, but I'm not hearing
No,
it on the
you
radio.
don't. You're lucky if you see. Well, that'd be nice too.
That would be
But
great.
that'd be terribly self-serving of me to talk that way.
Well, that's
But I'm looking at the trade papers, the magazines, the newsletters, the leaflets that are out. They are so heavily skewed toward South County, and I've had the discussions with all the people at the state level about all that, and they've pleaded their case, and I said, well, I have to disagree on how few times you spotlight Northern Rhode Island.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
count twice in 2023. Once for Autumn Fest, thank God, and thank you very much.
yeah.
And once for the Polar Express. Didn't even mention the Levitt concerts, and should have,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I mean, we are
This
so
is
much
a
more than the
statewide tourism publication, and they
Right.
don't. They
yeah,
just
yeah. No, we've
they,
never
they
gotten
just
a fair
miss
shake.
the stuff.
We've never gotten a fair shake.
So I get that, and now we're
So it's
starting
hard to be a little salty, like hard not to be a little salty when you hear.
Well, it is.
Right. So
It is, and we kind of wish that, but we also know that they're trying to get the biggest bang for their buck. They're under the scrutiny of other people. They're using public money, and there's so many differences of opinion, and you kind of gravitate where the money is. And let's face it, there's more money in tourism to the south of Providence than there is to the north of Providence, because up north of Providence is where you want to live. To the south of Providence is where you want to visit and leave.
I don't
Ooh, did I
necessarily
say
believe-
that? Ooh,
I
who's
didn't
being snarky
necessarily
this
yeah,
morning?
I know, right?
Who's being snarky today? Well, listen, I have
Well,
a lot of
I
friends who
can't
live
say
down
that I
there.
agree with you about the handling of all of this, and I think we still have a lot of unanswered questions. And when I'm down in Providence during the day, I hear from legislators that I work with how difficult it's been. I feel like I'm lucky. I don't have to go over the bridge if I don't choose to.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
I had to go over it every day and had been
And if you had to do
having
it at
do
drive
that,
time, because
yeah.
drive time is rotten.
It is rotten. It is rotten for them, and it's frustrating for them. And they've been inundated with calls from their constituents, and I feel I feel for them.
Yeah, I get it.
So, yeah,
But I think they've done a fine job handling it. You can disagree with this, you
I
can
will
disagree with that
respectfully
point.
disagree.
But I think overall the state has handled this to the best of their ability.
I don't hear that very often, so it is nice to hear, but I don't necessarily agree.
Okay. Well, it's time for us to agree on a commercial break. What do you think,
Yes.
huh? Let's do that. We'll be right back after this message from Gators Pub.
Wow, can you believe Gators Pub is celebrating its 35th year in business? Maybe the key to Gators' success is our super friendly staff. Or maybe the fact that the chefs at Gators are constantly making some of the freshest and most delicious dishes around. If you've never been, come on down and check out our great lunch specials from Monday through Thursday. They also offer complimentary soup during lunch. Watch the Boston Red Sox on one of our many TVs while enjoying classic apps like fresh potato skins or our famous pita chips. Come watch a volleyball game and have a burger or one of our newest cocktail creations. Gators is located on Route 102 in North Smithfield, about 1 mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Come say hello.
While doing your spring cleaning this year, be sure to take a look at your gutters. Did they survive the winter? If not, call Ryzen Seamless Gutters of Woonsocket. They offer complete gutter services from meticulous cleaning to expert repairs and installations. Ryzen Seamless Gutters want your gutters to function seamlessly and look great all year long. They were voted gold in ON Radio's Best of the Blackstone Valley for Best Roofing Company. Call Mike Ryzen today for a quote at 401-390-0685, 390-0685, or look them up on Facebook. Ryzen Seamless Gutters, one of the best of the Blackstone Valley. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON, AM, and FM.
Yes, that's us, ON, AM, and FM, plus all of our TV channels. I've been saying Instagram. It's actually we're on WoodSoccerRadio.com, on YouTube, on Facebook Live, and on X Live. I
Yes.
keep saying Instagram. It's actually X Live.
X, yeah. Formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay.
Whatever.
I'm trying to get over that.
I can't get over it.
Yeah, you can't?
I'm just, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been Twitter for too long.
I noticed it last night, and it's not cool. so because I'm talking about the Levitt concerts, and I was talking to somebody about it, and I said, they're on Instagram as well, and I said to myself, wait a minute, no, I think you have that wrong. It's not Instagram, it's X, and the big point in that conversation was, who cares? You're on a bunch of channels, so that's really what we care about. That you're on a bunch of channels.
We're all over the place.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're even talking on a Spanish channel right now because of a mistake I made last night, and we'll see if we can do about that.
Oops.
Yes, we have to maybe shut that off in a couple of minutes when I can turn around and twiddle with the computer. Moving right along in our discussions, tonight's a big night for the comedy fundraiser for
That's
the Y
right.
Pool.
Yep.
And we talked a lot about it last week, and I hope people haven't forgotten that tonight is the night.
It is tonight.
Doors open at 7, and the show starts at 8 o'clock. This is an 18-plus event, but it is not a filthy event.
Right.
This is just simply that, well,
Maybe adult themes. but
adult
not,
themes and things like that.
know.
Don't bring the kiddies,
Right.
because we respect the kids, and at this point in their development, we want to be respectful. At the same time, comedy isn't like that all the time.
Yeah.
Especially live comedy. There may be the adult theme or something that is mentioned, that you just don't talk that way in front of the kids, out of self-respect for yourself and out of respect for the kids. So we're just saying it's an 18-plus event. There's 50-50 drawings, auctions, cash bar, raffles, but bring your own snacks.
Bring your own snacks, like the movies.
Wait a minute, you can't bring your own snacks to the movies.
I do.
What? Well, you can get
It's
away
like,
with it.
I know.
You can get away with it. You got a purse. What am I supposed to do?
know. Okay, like you can't. I'm not going to pay that much money for like a snack. It's just it's
Oh,
too much.
yeah.
I know I shouldn't even be saying this on the air, but like you all know
$6
out there, you do.
$6
You
for
know
Milk
you.
Duds is beyond the pale. Yeah. Okay. I
You know
get
you
it.
go to the dollar store and bring in snacks. I'm
I
not
get
saying
it.
to do it. I'm just saying.
I just
you've
hope
done
that
it.
everybody remembers it's going on tonight.
Yep.
And it's at 7 o'clock. Doors open. At 8 o'clock, the show starts. It's 7 Cray Street, which is the Cumberland Public Safety Union Hall, right next to Forecourt. Go to south on Menden Road. Look on your right when you get to the village of Ashton, and you'll see the sign for Forecourt. Take your right there. You'll be right there. Now, if you're coming north on Menden Road, reverse those directions. But, I mean, most of the folks in Woonsocket and North Smithfield will be going south to get there.
So the auction is a big deal, and they
got
put
some
it
nice
kind of like
stuff.
they have some really nice trips. If I grab my phone, I can tell you
Oh.
what they are.
Will your
but
phone
I'll
complain
do
if you grab it?
maybe.
No, go right ahead.
No,
Take
yeah,
care
let
of
me
that. Take care of that. 23 minutes after 8 o'clock as we broadcast live on Tuesday morning if you're listening, and it's 23 minutes after 4 in the morning, then it's Monday.
Okay, and guess
Get
what?
ready
was
to go to
next
work.
me? But I did post it on our Facebook page, and I added
All
all of the
the
trips.
details.
So when I
All the
pull it up
details.
in a moment, I will announce them.
Yeah, okay.
'Cause, yeah,
Rich
I
Elaine
think it's a big draw.
Rich
Yeah.
Elaine has entered the building.
Hello.
He has. The Rooster's here. You weren't here last week. I thought it was because I was filling in for Joe and you were protesting.
No, actually, I was in New Jersey last week.
You were in New Jersey, do you say?
Yes, and for those of you that pay attention to the news, there was quite a little truck explosion on Route 95.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see that? And
yeah.
guess who got caught behind that?
The Merritt Parkway wasn't going to help you that day.
No.
First of all, try to get to the Merritt Parkway after that. And second of all, the Merritt Parkway cannot handle that kind of volume.
What normally takes me, I was heading down to Somerset, New Jersey.
Right?
And what normally takes me 4 hours door to door was a 9-hour drive.
Yikes.
But I'll tell you that we went right by the overpass where it happened.
Sure,
and
yeah.
you could look to your
And it
left.
didn't even happen on 95. It happened underneath the overpass.
Well, it was on 95 though. It was underneath.
Well, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
What had the
It wasn't
explosion.
an accident of vehicles that were traveling 95. Vehicles were traveling up above, and the gasoline tanker truck. What did they say? 80,000 gallons
80,000 gallons.
of gasoline in it, and you know how that stuff burns when you put it together like that. Was perfectly underneath the bridge that took 95 over the local road.
Yep.
And perfectly underneath it. So it trapped the fire underneath and it warped the girders so that they are no longer trustworthy to carry traffic. And so they had to shut it down.
Yep.
No question about it.
And I was it's because I'm.
And they've torn the bridge down now. They're just
yeah,
rebuilding it.
but it's because I'm French. Maybe I didn't understand.
What?
But no offense to any of your French listeners listening out there, but I
There
am
might
French.
be a couple.
There might be
Yeah,
a couple,
right.
yes. But anyhow, I'm looking at, and I'm about like 40. Melissa's still laughing over it. I'm about 40 miles behind where that actually took place, and I'm reading the signs.
40 miles away, and you felt
Well,
it.
yeah, and no, but I'm seeing the signs, and it says 95 South closed, exits 15 and 16. I'm thinking, reading it literally. I'm thinking
exits are
15 and
closed.
16 are
Right,
closed.
right.
Right.
I'm
the
fine.
Yeah.
And then when the traffic started to back up about 35 miles back, I said, nah, this is not going to be a pleasant day for me. But like I said, I left at 9:30
And
in the
Merritt
morning.
Parkway was no
And
longer an option.
no. And really, I had no other way to go. I mean, I had to hit the Tappan Zee Bridge, and that was pretty much,
You
you
can
know.
get
So,
Tappan Zee. You can get Tappan Zee from Merritt.
well, yeah, but I wasn't going to get on the Merritt because that was like just as bad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but anyhow, it was a very pleasant experience.
So you know how on your GPS, I got to ask this question, Melissa, but you know I'm only kidding about this, but this is for entertainment value. So you know how you have this GPS, and I'm always making fun of this program that's all the rage now called Waze,
Yes.
right? I always just did the GPS thing, and I know how to read maps, so I'm cool, right? I look out the windows, I see what's going on, stuff like that. But Waze tries to be so 21st century, so touchy-feely, so your little traveling pal, that it's constantly monitoring everything, and it asks you, is there a cop? Did you just go by a cop? Someone else said there was a cop there. And you have to touch your
does do
screen to
that.
tell it if the cop is there. Did you just go by construction? Or is there an obstacle on the road? And I'm saying, shut up. But
Well, you can
also,
turn it off.
you're driving along. Now, this happened to me coming back from Virginia in April. I'm coming back on this Sunday, and we've got plenty of time. But the thing is constantly telling me to get off the road.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, well, it probably is trying to tell me that there is a problem up ahead, and it's trying to give me a better route. So the first few times, I did what it said. And it's like we're going nowhere. We're almost turning around in circles on side roads, and it won't let me.
It might be
won't-
1 minute
it won't-
faster.
It won't give me the advice to get back on 95 North. And I want to get back on 95 North. That's all I want. That's how I came.
Yeah.
And so it's doing all this stuff now for a couple of hours till finally I say, boop, shut it off. And I just got on 95, and things went fine after that. So I'm just wondering now. I gave you that little preamble, and this is my prejudice. This is my attitude toward that little program. Were you using that program going south on 95?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
But I can imagine, for the sake of a laugh, but I can imagine this stupid little snotty-nosed program, this little app, is going to look at you in a situation you were in,
Yeah.
where they actually shut down all lanes of 95 going south. Is going to look at you and say, get off here, get off there, and then finally realize that there isn't any good way for you to get through.
No, there isn't.
I can just imagine it popping something up, turn around and go home.
Yeah.
We're your happy little travel pal. Turn
I love
around and go
Waze.
home. You're you got the short end of the stick, pal. You can't get there from
That's
here.
correct. And you want to know, speaking of all these little ways of doing things and everything, I will readily admit I'm a Massachusetts guy, and I'm not that familiar with Rhode Island as far as
dear.
going. No, and I'm
Come
very
for lunch sometime. We'll
I'm
show
very
you around.
limited. Okay, so
Me and Melissa, we'll show you around. We'll
But-
show you all the high spots.
but I remember when we had the courtesy
Do the
vehicle.
Conconet Hill in Johnston. That's a high spot.
But we had the courtesy vehicle at the post,
Right.
And I had to get it registered.
Yeah.
So I went down to Woonsocket,
Yeah.
and there was something amiss with the paperwork, but they said, you don't have to make another appointment, go to Warwick. And I said, well, I don't know what a registry is. I know you got to go down 95 to get to Warwick, and
It's
I'm
actually
cool with it.
Cranston,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yeah,
So I go ahead and I put it into, I've got Google Maps.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it in, and
It's right off the highway.
but see, I know that now. But I'm going down the road, and it's taking me, and I know I want to get on 95, but it's taking me left, right, straight,
you really
left,
want to get on
right,
295,
side streets
yeah.
and everything. And I'm saying, I know I got to get on 94. What the heck is going on? Is my maps broke? Is the app broke? And finally, light dawns on my marble head, and I look down, and I'm on bicycle mode.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The
So-
bicycle, they're not going to take you on the highway.
No, of course
Oh,
not. So here I am.
They
with-
won't let you go on.
What was your expected time? Was it like
Oh, it was like
10
2
hours?
I never looked at that. I'm just figuring I'm going the right way. God, what a dope I am, huh?
No,
It's-
anybody could
Goodness.
make that.
Yeah,
Anybody could.
no. So they have different modes. They have the
Right.
walking mode, and
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
know.
right.
But
So
you see, you learn by your
When I was
mistakes.
in Los
too.
Angeles, when I was in Las Vegas, I put it in walking mode because I needed that,
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was very different, and that's kind of useful.
that makes it is useful when you're traveling in a city that you're not familiar with.
Right.
But I use Waze all the time. But one big complaint with Waze, and you're gonna think it's ridiculous because it is. So you can like have little characters for yourself, which is funny. But you can have
Is
different.
that what all that garbage is? I
yeah,
don't subscribe
you can
to
have
it.
different voices. So
Oh well, I don't go with the voice. I shut the speech off. I put the gag
so
on it.
when I've had it forever on my old phone, and my Waze was Boy George giving me directions. And you know, I'm an 80s person, so like I just thought it was
Yeah.
great. So when I switched phones and I installed Waze, there was no more options. You're like grandfathered in with Boy George. So I'm very sad that
Serious?
that Boy George is no longer giving me directions. But I have this other British spy guy who, gives me directions now.
Bond, James Bond.
It was kind of like that. Like, yeah,
Okay.
similar.
All right, well, friends, we have to stop here and take a little break. We're a little overtime, but we're having so much fun talking this morning. It's time for us to take a look at the weather forecast. And the weather forecast is being sponsored by the fine and studious folks at both Positive Coaching Alliance and Unbound.org.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a high of 58 and a small chance of showers. Tonight, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 41. Saturday's weather partly sunny, high of 57. Mother's Day, Sunday, mostly cloudy with a high of 59 and a small chance of a shower. Monday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 67. Tuesday, it'll be partly sunny and 74. Wednesday, mostly cloudy and 66. And on Thursday, partly sunny skies, high of 69.
And presently outside our Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio here on Park Avenue, corner of Kennedy Street, we are at 53 on our way to, 58. We're at 53 degrees right now, up from our overnight low of 48 degrees at 8:34 in the morning. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA is a national nonprofit organization developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org. And remember, if you would like to change the world of someone else on this planet, there are people out there who could use 10 fingers up. And you can do that by contacting Unbound.org. I'll repeat, Unbound.org. We'll be right back.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal management of investment accounts, and depending on what you're looking for, we can create a portfolio that provides you with current income, invest for growth for the future, and of course, our primary focus, which is managing retirement money from client rollovers of their 401k plan after they leave the workforce. Whatever your goals are, we can put together a program to assist you. And remember, I've been in the business of investing for clients for over 30 years, helping people just like you with their investments. So call me at 765-8880. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Here's what's coming up next. Greatest Hits USA.
Hey, this is Chuck Matthews on Greatest Hits USA. And coming up this weekend, we're going to answer the following questions. What group got their name from an expensive car? Who came up with a song in front of a school? And who had the #1 record this week in 1969? Find out. Turn it up this weekend right here.
Greatest Hits USA.
Yeah, that's coming up this afternoon at 3 o'clock here on ON Radio. And by the way, we replay it after Cruisin' Bruce and the Saturday Block Party right here on the radio. Let's say happy day to our friends in Cumberland and Lincoln. We have a new Valley Breeze that hit the streets yesterday, and I'm going to tell you what's on the front page here, as I have a copy of the Cumberland Lincoln edition in my hands. They've announced, Cumberland High School has, that valedictorian Nathan Bassett and salutatorian Nolan Rogalski will never forget entering high school during a global pandemic. And those are the folks who are graduating this year. Anyway, they topped the class of 24 at CHS. Also, a big story, pictorial essay here, by the way, by Bob Emerson about the Wellness Center in Cumberland High School, where it was filled to capacity with the all-band concert. I'll let you read all about that. Now, there's another story right in the center of the front page over here. Anchor Auto and Subaru cover a month's worth of food at the Northern Rhode Island Food Pantry. Very nice
Yeah,
thing.
wonderful.
And in Lincoln, a budget review proposed prior to the Lincoln Financial Town Meeting. It's going to be, let's see, that's going to be, oh, that's Monday. I'll be a son of a gun there. So that's in the Valley Breeze for news. In the North Smithfield, Woonsocket, and Blackstone edition, we have the Woonsocket City Council approving new contract with the police union back on Monday. You heard it live here on the radio as they did it. And this, of course, they also put the story in this edition about the Anchor Subaru and Northern Rhode Island Food Pantry. And then also, Mayor Beauchamp is quoted as saying, "We're close to a deal on the pool." And we were about to talk about the auction items in a little bit, but we'll do that a little later on in the show. Please stay tuned for all of that. But that's what's going on in the Valley Breeze newspaper here, of course, including Andrew Butler, senior at North Smithfield High School, shown with many of the bags of trash that was picked up at cleaning up North Smithfield. In the Valley Breeze, free where you shop every Thursday with fantastic adverts for local sponsors you'll want to do business with. And in this week's Valley Breeze, hold it up nice for the camera, Dave, it's the Senior Living Guide from the Valley Breeze. Right there. I see right on the front cover, there's a nice ad there for our friends at the San Antoine community, who we hear from every Wednesday on the Coffee and Show with Melissa Smith. Okay, well, that's it for our Valley Breeze ad. Let's talk to the Rooster now and see what's underneath his yarmulke. Oh no, it's a baseball hat.
Oh no, it's a
Boston Bruins baseball.
Yeah, that's
oh,
right.
come on, will you? I mean, it's that time of year, and that's my team. It's my team, so
I
I got
know.
to advertise them a little bit.
So what's going on here? I don't think this. If we had 2 hours, we would get everything on the air today because there's so much to talk about. But I just got to stop you and ask you here because the Boston Bruins is your team.
Yes.
So the first game with the Panthers, totally off script. They're supposed to get myrtleized, right? Panthers have a week's rest. They're coming in after a very tough series, overtime, the whole business like that, very emotional, and they shellac the Panthers.
Yeah.
So you say to yourself, this is interesting. Off script, but interesting. So the next game comes along. Both teams are, they're tickety-boo. They played each other last time, so this should be a real good one. And then the Panthers shellac the Bruins.
Well,
and the worst part about all this is that over in the National Basketball League, the doggone Celtics are in the same boat. They beat the tar out of their opponent in the first game. In the second game, they look like they shouldn't be there.
well, but I'll tell you that the hockey. All right. First of all, NBA. I don't watch the NBA at all.
I know.
Because I
There's a lot
like
of folks
the day
around here.
back when Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and all. There was some inside stuff. Now all these guys do is stand 30 feet outside from where the hoop is,
Yeah,
right? And they toss up 3-pointers. It's no fun to watch. I don't know. But anyhow, the hockey, what happened, see, I should be an NHL coach. I seriously
You think
should
so?
be. Yeah. Because here's what happened, all right?
There may be an opening if the Bruins lose.
There may be. Yep. But what happened in that first game is that Florida's kicked back, and they're saying, all right, Bruins just go through a tough series. They got to jump on a plane. They get down here. We're probably going to take them, no problem at all. And the Bruins come down there and go, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Second, now the Panthers wake up. They go, uh-oh,
Well, they
So,
kind of woke up toward the end of the game.
well, what happened is that goal with 20 seconds left in the second period by the Panthers put them up 3-1. Then I think the Bruins went in the locker room and said, all right, we're not going to win this one. Let's just go out there and muck things up a little bit. And boy, did they ever muck it up, huh? Mm-hmm. Fights all over the place and pushing and shoving. And but yeah, it's going to be interesting tonight.
Well, it's even, and tonight the Bruins, be sure to put it on your recording device so you can be at the comedy benefit for the White Pool. But it plays. Just don't let anybody tell you what the outcome is.
That always happens to
watch
me.
that.
I record it, and then and I'll say, all right, I finally got away with it, and then
someone
just
say
as
something.
I'm leaving, it usually happens, and
really?
hey, oh, come on, will ya?
Well, just be sure you're tuned into 1240 or 99.5. We promise we will not give you the Bruins score tonight.
That's very considerate of you, Dave.
What's happening at
What's
Post
happening at the
85,
post?
pal?
Yes, let's do this, right? Well, a little update on the courtesy vehicle. Those of you that know what it's about, it's basically a vehicle that we take our any veteran to their medical appointments free of charge. All you got to do is call the American Legion Post 85 at 401-766-7585. If you're a veteran, you give the person answering the phone your name and your telephone number. I am the duty officer for the vehicle, so they will give me your name, your telephone number. I'll call you. We'll set up your medical appointment trip for you veterans out there, and we'll pick you up at your house. We'll bring you to your appointment. We will wait for you at your appointment, and we will bring you home. And this service is all free of charge. But the reason why I really want to mention is that we are getting extremely busy.
Good.
So, yeah, and that's great. But the problem with getting extremely busy is that I'll have people that'll call that want to ride next week.
Okay.
And as soon as you know when your appointment is, if you're going to be interested in our service, call.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you wait a week before, more than likely, that date's going to already be taken. And I hate saying no to people.
Mm-hmm.
But we do one trip a day. That way, if doctor's appointments get backed up, somebody don't miss their appointment. Right. So, please, veterans out there, if you need that ride, we're more than happy to give it to you. But as soon as you know the date, call. That's
Even if it's months ahead.
absolutely. I've got people that have booked appointments already in July.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you can get from a doctor is July.
right.
Yeah. So I mean,
True.
like I say, and boy, it breaks my heart to say no. But I'll tell you what, it does break my heart to say no. But it got easier because because we're trying to stay geographically in this area, and the first call we ever got for this courtesy vehicle over a year ago was a World War II veteran from Marlborough, Massachusetts.
Really?
And I had to say no. And that broke my heart, believe me. But you want to know what? After saying no to a World War II veteran, because it's just geographically out of our service area,
Right.
Yeah, you can't do everything.
it got easier to say no after that. I'll tell you
gosh,
that much. You know, but yeah, anyhow, that's the deal with the service vehicle. Couple of really, really good things going on in June. So if you got a pencil and paper out there,
Is this out in the pavilion?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, I went to that Purple Up event.
yeah.
Too late. Well, I had to work till 7.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
but it was going to go on for hours.
yeah,
Missed it
yeah.
because, boy, I'll tell you, they had a good crowd there for that.
They banged it out, yeah, for the final night, the
Right.
spaghetti sauce. Yeah,
Denise and I says we'll go there, but I can't leave till after Bruce Palmer's off at 7:00.
yeah.
So we went right down right away, and we were too late.
There was no,
Joe-
so I
Oh,
couldn't be there. I was in Florida, as a matter of fact. That's why I had to
Yeah, we
miss
were
that.
too late. So just congratulations to the ladies because they banged.
Oh, they
right
banged that out. They made 11. I know it was over 11.5 now.
Great.
11, yeah, 11.3. Okay.
I don't know.
No, oh, you don't. No, it was right around 11.5 that they made, and
We should
that
do stuff like that
11,500.
instead. You know, we do 23 hour-long radio auctions on the radio and the TV, and we make the same money they make in one night. I'm saying to myself, geez, how stupid is Dave?
But the Bruins jersey that was raffled off with all the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
signatures and the spoke B, that was won by a patron, I wasn't. All I know was somebody down at Fast Eddie's.
Really?
They gave the Bruins jersey back to the auxiliary.
No kidding.
Yep. And
So
they
it could
said
be auctioned again?
basically do what you want with it. So we haven't sat down as a group, and it belongs to the ladies auxiliary. They're going to make the decision on what they want to do, but basically it's probably going to be raffled off for something that we can help veterans with, or veterans kids, or whatever. But whoever out there at Fast Eddie's, if you're listening, but thank them from the bottom of my heart, because that was a really generous thing to do, because you could get some good bucks for that jersey.
Well, we're coming up at break time here. Can I take a little break here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Come back,
Absolutely.
we'll
I got
hear-
a couple other things, but sure.
Is the pavilion opening up?
Yeah, it is.
Well,
It's
we're
coming
going
up.
to
Yep.
talk about that when we come back here. We'll be right back.
The Valley Breeze has been a local news leader since its founding in 1996, and more people are reading our stories today than ever before. We believe our mission of making our community stronger by telling their stories is not just a tagline, but a way of life for our staff as they connect with you, our loyal readers and advertisers. Our team thanks you for always reading, always reaching out, and always helping toward our shared vision. Check out any of our 5 editions or visit valleybreeze.com for more.
And now a message from our ON Radio Business of the Day, Under the Willow Bakery.
It's a real family affair at Under the Willow Bakery in Cumberland. Michelle, the owner of Under the Willow Bakery, uses small batch family recipes she's gathered from her mother, grandmother, aunt, sister, mother-in-law, father-in-law, and grandmother-in-law. Small batch cooking uses quality ingredients, and all items are made fresh daily. Under the Willow Bakery specializes in breakfast pastries and desserts, plus specialty coffees and teas. Under the Willow Bakery is at 3383 Mendon Road, Cumberland, near the corner of Manville Hill Road, and they're open Tuesday through Friday at 7:30, Saturday and Sunday at 8. See their menu at underthewillowbakery.com.
The world-class distributor of all things electrical is Electrical Wholesalers. They are a full-service electrical distributor with branches throughout Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Locally, they're at 113 Clinton Street next to KFC here in Woonsocket, with other locations in Cranston and Franklin, Massachusetts. Electrical Wholesalers provides the highest quality service to electrical contractors as well as residential, commercial, and industrial customers. Electrical Wholesalers is open Monday through Friday, 7 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. Visit ew-ne.com. Electrical Wholesalers.
All right, we're back here on Coffee and on ON, AM, and FM radio, and we were about to hear from Rich Lane what's going on down at the Post as far as entertainment and stuff.
Well, I know the entertainment part of it, and I can't remember the name of the band off the top of my head. I think it's Wicked West.
Wicked West.
Wicked
Yes.
West. Look at
Yes.
that. I got it right. And I think they're on May the 25th, which is a Saturday evening.
That's the holiday weekend, isn't it?
I believe
Yes, it is.
I
That's
believe
the
it
three-day
is.
holiday
But
weekend.
the pavilion's going to be open, and that is our first band of the season for that. So never cover charge for the band. The outside bar is open, so you can come up there underneath our pavilion, even if it's a little drizzly and damp. We got the covered pavilion up there, and Wicked West will be
It's supposed
playing.
to be a good weekend weather-wise, though.
Is it that weekend?
Yes, it is.
You got that advanced?
No, we
like,
don't.
weather
We just
mo-
we
just know.
We sell it till we win it.
But the Wicked West on the 25th, and now get your pencils out because this is good stuff coming up. Not that Wicked West isn't, but on June the 9th, which is a Sunday,
Right.
okay, at 1 p.m., we are going to do a Korean War dedication up at the Eternal Flame site.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, so we're going to have some guest speakers there. We're going to have a former national commander of the American Legion. That's, I guess, the guest. Melissa, you've been invited to speak.
Yes, I
haven't
have.
you?
Yep.
Good. I wanted to make sure before I
Yep,
mentioned
I
it.
know that.
I thought I
Yeah.
had heard that somewhere.
Yes, I was invited, yep.
Good. So we're going to have some dignitaries up there that are going to say a few words, but should be a great afternoon. So if you haven't been up to see the Eternal Flame site, myself and the commander, we were there yesterday, in fact, planting some nice new flowers and sprucing the place up. And so if you haven't had a chance to come up and see the memorial, please, that's a great day to do it when we're going to do the Korean War dedication. So once again, June 9th, 1 p.m. up at the Post, 870 River Street here in Woonsocket. Another date, the following week, if you, and I mentioned before, I'm French, and a lot of the French people like country music, right? So we'll look at Dave.
A lot of people like country music,
Well,
whether they're French or not.
yeah,
That's
well,
true.
I know a few Irish folks that like country
Well,
music.
okay, well, and any ethnic group out there that enjoys country music,
There you go.
you come out on June the 15th at the American Legion Poach, which is a Saturday. We're going to have a country fest out there from 11 a.m., from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. And there's no cover
So
for
it's
the
all
music.
day.
Yep, it's an all-day event. There's going to be a pig roast up there. There's no cover charge to hear the bands, but there's going to be, we're going to have food for sale.
Oh, of course.
So the food ain't free, but we're going to have a pig roast out there. We're going to have hot dogs, hamburgers, all sorts of stuff like that.
Oh,
We got a band going on
That's my style. What's the date?
on June the 15th.
No kidding.
And from 1 to
The
4.
day after the first Levitt concert.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. So
I
from,
measure everything in the summer after the concerts, you see.
Okay. So Levitt starts on the 14th. then.
It does.
All right.
On Flag Day.
There you go. Flag. That is correct. That is correct. I'll be out at the first Levitt one with my American
Well,
flag. just waving it
there'll
Wednesday.
be lots of flags there.
Wonderful, wonderful. But on the 15th, we got from 1 to 4 p.m. Salty Sister Project. Did you hear, Melissa? Were you there the last time we had Salty? I don't think you
No,
were.
I wasn't. But
These are 3 female vocalists with 3 guitars. That the harmonies are so good. We had them there earlier this year for an indoor thing, and the people that attended said these 3 ladies are phenomenal. Bring them back. So we're going to bring them back for the Country Fest. Salty Sister Project's going to perform from 1 to 4 p.m. And then when they leave the stage, we're going to have DJ Ken doing some country tunes from 4 to 7, and then at 7 p.m.
So
to
we'll
11.
be hearing from all the top artists in the industry.
Absolutely, all the top country people. And then from 7 to 11 p.m., we got a country band from this area called Bulletproof that are going to be performing their country tunes from 7 to 11. So a full day of good country music on Saturday, June the 15th. So like I said, no cover ever to listen to our band. So come out and just enjoy some good music. And we'll have the pig roast and some food you can buy. And the outside bar will be open. So just come down and have a good time, I guess. You know,
Sounds good.
And if you missed any of that, you can go to our website, onesocketradio.com, and click on the events link, and it has a lot.
And you'll find it listed.
You'll find that event and many other events listed.
Now, we got off the track from getting an answer from Melissa, who was looking up the auctions for tonight's comedy fundraiser.
They're really
for the
good.
White Pool. So why don't you tell us about that now while we still have a few minutes left?
Sure. So the comedy fundraiser for the Woonsocket Whalers, which is to benefit the Woonsocket YMCA swimming pool tonight, Friday, May 10th, in the Cumberland Public Safety Union Hall, 7 Cray Street in Cumberland. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. It's bring your own snacks, cash bar, raffles, and the raffle, there's a silent auction with vacation destinations. So you'll be able to bid on these in a silent auction. Montreal, Canada, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Punta Cana?
Punta Cana. Punta Cana.
Cana.
Cana. Well, okay, I've been corrected. I'm only fluent in one language, sadly. Dominican Republic, Cancun, Mexico, New Orleans, Palm Springs, and Waikiki Beach, which I've been to.
Not Escahig?
No.
Oh,
Waikiki. So like
Waikiki?
Waikiki.
That's a good
Where
question.
Waikiki. That's where the Army base is. So, because my brother was stationed there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's happening tonight, and you can bid on all of these really great vacation destinations, and hopefully you'll be the highest bidder. Make sure you bid, and all the money goes to save the swimming pool.
To operate it.
Yep, to operate it.
Because we have to keep it operating in order to save it.
Yes, yeah. It's a daily maintenance thing, and it's costly, but it's an important resource to the community.
It certainly is.
So I think this is great. Tickets are $25. We have the little flyer up on our Facebook page, and with the little QR code, you can get all the information. And I just pinned it to the top of our page, so it's right there on the top.
Cool.
Who are the comedians? Did you know who the comedians are?
We talked about it last week.
Yeah, I
Did
don't
you?
recall the name of the person.
No, I got a gentleman that's a good friend of mine. That's actually one of the comedians that works around this area.
Yeah,
You know Mike?
I
You know Mike Murray?
No.
No, Mike.
I mean,
Mike does a lot of like.
That's my cousin's name, but it's not him.
I know. Yeah, Mike does a lot of. He's one of the comedians from around the Providence area and things like that, and he does a lot of like benefits and stuff like that. I just didn't know whether one of them was him. Very funny man. Very funny man. Keeps me laughing all the time.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, we've got about a minute and a half left to talk here. What do you want to talk about, gang?
I don't know.
Dumb stuff?
I don't. Yeah. Go ahead and bring something up there, Dave.
We got like 2 minutes.
You got an opinionated thing there that Joe always got something like that. So.
Yeah.
Rich wants something
Yeah, I wanna
controversial.
give
He
an
loves
opinion.
it.
You're all gonna die.
All right.
Oh, well, that's not controversial.
A new study shows that eating ultra-processed foods is linked to a higher risk of early death.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
yeah.
that means when I go home at night and I grab that big sack of pepperoni out of the refrigerator and I just grab a handful of that stuff, that means I'm going to die quicker, I guess, huh?
You'll be dead by 30.
Oh, okay then.
Says it right here.
Okay. Well, the funny part, real
They're a little late.
real quick, I went for my physical the other day, and of course, like the doctor just looks at me and goes, "Continue doing what you're doing." And my wife goes, "How did you make out?" And I said, said, just to continue doing what I was doing. And my wife goes, oh man.
No.
Yeah. Well, just be happy.
Clean
that
living, Rich. Clean
Oh,
living.
God, yes.
Just be happy you're not Chris Pan.
Okay.
Do you know who Chris Pan is?
No, I do
He's
not.
an entrepreneur and an alum of Ohio State University who was invited to come and speak at their commencement and popped a few psychedelics before he did the speech and encouraged everyone in the crowd to buy cryptocurrency and to do a sing-along with him.
Well, the sing-along would have been fun. I don't know about
He
the crypto.
won't be asked back. Final
I don't even know who he is.
Final comments, Melissa.
He will not be performing at our comedy fundraiser
No, he will
tonight,
not.
unfortunately. But you should, if you have the opportunity, go to our Facebook page and do that. And everyone have a great weekend.
Very good. And Rich, final comment?
Yeah, and thanks to Melissa and you, Dave, for allowing me to come in as always every Friday, and thanks for keeping that events page up to date for not only the American Legion Post, for everybody in the Woonsocket area, and then come on down to the Post and visit us, see what we're all about.
And if you missed any portion of our broadcast today, just pick it up on demand at woonsocketradio.com. Thank you very much. Joe promises to be back on Monday. We'll find out.
Yay.
Actually, truth be known, he'll be here at noontime tomorrow taking care of the Tiki Bar.
All right.
Make it a good day, everybody.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast